Welcome back.
And good morning from the deep in the Otway State Forest.
So nice here. It's just great to be able to get in the woods again.
Yeah, it feels so good to be amongst the trees, and it's such a beautiful forest that we're going to spend a little bit more time here, I think. We are at Dandos Campground. It's actually a free camp, and it's huge. We're so impressed with the free camps in the forest here.
Yeah, incredible.
It's ridiculous and dog friendly, yeah.
Apparently it does get a bit rowdy though on weekends. We were lucky, it was a Saturday night last night, and a cop came through and was saying that he'll often just keep an eye on the campsite because sometimes it can get a bit rowdy on the weekends. And we were here with like 3 other people, like, I really hope it doesn't. But thankfully it was really chill, and we got this nice little spot nestled in the trees. So such a nice little just relaxing night.
Yeah.
And getting away from the coast, we had to shoot inland because the wind was just unbearable, like howling on shore for the next few days. So we thought no better time to get up into the woods and just cozy on down.
Yeah, so just gonna make some brekkie, have a bit of a slow morning, and then we're gonna venture out to another part of the forest. Check that out. There's one spot I'm really excited to see because it does remind me of back home in California. If you know where we are, you can probably guess where we're going. And then, take it from there. As a kid, I remember visiting the actual redwood forest with my family back home in California. Fast forward to now, I'm standing in the redwood forest all the way in Australia, feeling bittersweet, overwhelmed with emotions. It's a curse of a traveler to want to fill your days continuously exploring new places, because even when you're thousands of miles away from home, it only takes one familiarity to awaken your homesickness. A cloud of guilt is always glooming over you. Some days you don't notice it, and others, it feels so heavy you can't help but wonder if you made the right decision leaving your home, your family, your comfort zone. Unrealistically, I'll always want to be in multiple places at once, exploring the Great Ocean Road while simultaneously being able to watch my nephew ride his bike for the first time. Surfing in paradise with my best mates while also getting to be there to give a final goodbye to our family dog. The cure to this curse isn't something I've uncovered yet, and I'm not sure I ever will. It's the price you pay for following your heart, even if it might break ever so slightly every time you have to say goodbye. I guess the best advice I can give you from my travels is this: love the hell out of your life and don't take it for granted for a single second. Be truly present in the moment, wherever you are, and hug your loved ones extra tight whenever you can. Relish in the beauty that life is meant for living, and that there's really no perfect way to do it. You realize quickly when living on the road that the term family also extends to friends. Some you may have known for ages, and some you may have only just met. Either way, some people imprint on you in ways you can't put into words. But you're forever grateful to have crossed paths with them, and you know that even if you go separate ways, there will always be a part of them that you carry with you. And then you start to think that maybe, just maybe, this curse is actually a gift that has opened you to a world of possibilities. One that shows you the value of opening your mind and heart to new places and connections. That, my friends, is the gift of a traveler.
Oh, man.
It has been a wild few weeks.
I can't. You're not even going to believe it, unless you followed us on Instagram, of course. But man, we had a really nice Christmas, just the two of us, and then New Year's we had a couple of different friends, recent time, of course. And then just as we were getting ready to start our way back from Portland to start heading back towards Torquay and Geelong, where we'll be getting the ferry to Tasmania. Nigel started playing up a little bit and started like surging a bit, which was the beginning of a few days of
Hell.
hell, but it's been so strange, like such a mixed amount of positivity, but also it's still been really hard. So we sort of limped into town, and then I was thinking it was just going to have to be some adjustments to be made to the carby. So I started playing around with that. I got on the phone to Benny, who helped us out in Adelaide, trying to like figure out what was going on, but nothing seemed to be working, which was frustrating. A whole nut had completely fallen off the carby. That carby's terrible. It's caused nothing but problems. We got it new. Should have kept the old one in, but you live and you learn. And then out of the kindness of the world, Joel, we never got your last name, but Joel saw us, pulled over, had a yarn, and said that he followed us on YouTube and stuff, and that he would try and figure something out for us, and came back like 15 minutes later saying he found a guy that loves working on Land Rovers, and he said he'd stop whatever he was doing and start working on it for us, which that in itself we could not believe. So I've limped a couple k's down the road into this guy's garage. Was seemingly going to be a quick fix. We thought it was just going to sort of be simple troubleshooting for the fuel system. Started going through that. That just dragged out more and more annoying troubleshooting to no avail. So then we thought, well, we'll have to now go all the way back down the line and try and figure stuff out. But by that point, we had to stay the night. The first night, I say first night because yes, there are more. Yeah, the mechanic, it's Garb's garage, is an absolute legend. Like, he was working so hard. He knew we had this deadline. If we didn't have the deadline of the ferry, we would have just waited, ordered a new better part online, and just putted around and stayed there for like a week or whatever. But the fact was we couldn't order a part in time, which meant we had to get going. We're like 4 hours from Geelong, so it's not even like you can kind of get there. It's literally we need to be working to get there. So we're trying to fix that, and then we thought maybe it's something more further back down in the line. So then Garbs just taught me as much as he could and tried to let me do as much as I could while he was also working on all the clients that he had anyway. So we then went all the way back to then fuel lines, fuel pump, timing, distributor, valve clearances, far out. Literally everything we could, and then we just ended up straight back at the carby again, realising that sucked. So then Jace, who's a mate of Garb's, it was just a mate that just kept popping into the mechanical place. Then he went on a mission to try and go to farms and try and find old carbies. We found an old Stromberg one off a Holden, scrubbing that up, freeing up all the butterflies. I can't tell you how many times I pulled apart and put together a carby. Then put it together, had to modify the bolts to get it on, but that still didn't work. One of the plunger things that didn't seal right, and we couldn't get a rebuild kit to get a part for it, which meant we were back to then trying to pull apart the original one, clean all that up, put it back together. It still was just flooding it. It just wasn't running. It was just getting so much fuel. It was ridiculous. So we went to a Wreckers, got another one, cleaned that up, bolted that on.
And this
Didn't
is
work.
this is like 3 days later as well. Like this
is over days.
Yeah, and we're getting closer and closer to the deadline of having to get on this ferry.
Yeah,
terrifying.
We were supposed to, and because we were leaving on the Monday, it means obviously Saturday, Sunday, no one works, and you can't like the post office, you can't do anything on the weekend, particularly in a town like Portland. And yeah, the Thursday night we started like seriously thinking that we might not be able to go to Tas because the next available ferry is the end of Feb, so almost like 2 months away. Yeah. And by that point it's almost too late to even warrant it. So that was a pretty dark time. But I mean, Garbs, the mechanic, was still working. Like obviously he still had his other clients, but like he was working till like 10 or 11 at night. And we were trying to nut it out. We were looking at so many diagrams of carbies, trying to figure out anything. He was calling the whole town of Portland to try and find anything that could even kind of work. He was working so hard just to get it. He's promised us he'd get us on the ferry. And then went back to the Wreckers, who then pulled out every carby he had in this big pile on the ground and found like a 50-year-old Zenith carb from I think it was a Valiant, scrubbed it up, plugged it all in, turned it over. It worked pretty well, and then tuned it up, took it for a test ride, and we are working. On Friday afternoon, we got Nigel running.
4 days later, I think it was. Like, Friday afternoon, we leave Monday. This
was the last hurrah. The boys just, I honestly cannot speak higher of them. And even Joel as well, the fact that he, because we wouldn't have known, Garbs only just moved into this space, so there wasn't even any signpostage or anything that this was a mechanic's place. We probably would have, if we went about it the conventional way, it would have been call up any mechanic. He would have said, oh mate, it's the 3rd or 4th of January. Flat out. Half the places weren't even open until the 9th. And I don't even know if anyone would have given us the time of day, and if they would have.
Wouldn't have gone to the lengths that Garbs went to.
No way. We would have been saying goodbye to that ferry from day dot, I think. So, we are so grateful.
Yeah, it's been actually an incredibly eye-opening experience. On our travels, we've met so many kind people, but this was sort of another reminder of that people are so kind and helping in so many ways. Joel didn't have to, he could have just been like, hey, I follow them on YouTube.
Yeah, I just said, Bunkabi, that sucks, mate. Good luck.
Yeah, but actually went out of his way to say good day, see what the problem is, and then not just say all right, well, good luck, but go and find someone that could help us. It was incredible.
And it happened to be the nicest mechanic ever.
It's
unbelievable.
been a very, as stressful as that experience was, it was incredibly, I don't know, it was a beautiful experience. It sounds weird.
As crap as it was. It was, we seem to have that a bit where we feel, it's quite an unfortunate situation, but relative to it, we've been really fortunate with how it's panned out. But lesson learned, don't buy aftermarket mechanical things. We think it was just too new for Nigel. We needed to put a 50-year-old carby in him. He's like, oh, that's better. What's this new crap you're putting in me?
Yeah. So now we are back on the road and hopefully going to make it to Geelong, which is where we embark on our ferry to Tasmania in a few days. We just have to hope that Nigel can get there.
Yeah.
And everything's good.
We're holding our breath. It should be fun, and I now feel competent in pulling apart and putting together carburetor over and over again. I just really don't want to.
Yeah, so...
Hopefully we make it in time.
Yeah, hopefully next time you see us, we are in Tasmania.